You're listening to the Loving Your Own Soul podcast, and I'm your host, Britt Olson. Guided by my own intuition, my intention is to deliver genuine conversations centered around health and wellness, spirituality, self-expression, and culture. In this space, I will provide you with real-life stories, theories, and inspiring perspectives to help you uncover and tap into your own true potential. I'm so grateful you've chosen to tune in with me on this mindful exploration to living a more fluid life through a deeper connection to the soul. Now let's dive into today's journey. Hello and welcome to my weekly digest. Every Thursday, I will digest and decode a different health and wellness, spiritual, or cultural topic so that you can better understand and feel more on trend in the ever-changing world we live in. This week, I will be giving you the download on celery juice and how it is more than just a trend, and the one who spurred its popularity, better known as the medical medium. As always, please do not forget that I am not a trained medical professional, do not currently hold any licenses, nor do I claim to be an expert in any of these areas. This episode simply stems from theories, research from qualified field professionals, and my own findings and opinions on the areas we discuss. For any specific questions or topics you'd like to see on here, feel free to email me at lovingyourownsoul@gmail.com. And make sure you tune into next Tuesday's episode, for I am interviewing a woman from Hawaii who completely changed her health and her life in following the medical medium protocols and drinking celery juice every morning. So if you like what you hear today, be sure to check that out, because you are going to be so amazed by this woman's journey. And for now, let's dive into today's topic. All right, so celery juice. Celery juice, believe it or not, as many of you probably have heard by now, is a new trending word in the health and wellness industry, and really it has been for the last couple of years. I agree with you. It's certainly odd to think how a vegetable that was always so secondary, if that, can actually have the magical healing powers as many claim it to be. I actually saw recently someone post in a Facebook group that I'm part of asking if celery juice was still a thing. And I'm here to tell you that it is 100% still a thing, and really is so much more than a long-lasting trend and should become a staple in your morning routine if it isn't already. Some consider celery juice to be the missing link to get one's health back, and it is really everywhere for a very good reason, because it is saving so many lives and restoring people's healths one symptom at a time. From celebrities posting about their daily celery juice routines to people from all walks of life sharing pictures and testimonials of their dramatic recovery stories, celery juice is revealing itself to ignite healing when all odds seem against it. What began a couple decades ago as a quiet movement has become a global healing revolution over the last couple of years. Celery juice was predominantly introduced to us by the rise of Anthony Williams, better known as the medical medium, in the rise to popularity within our world, spearheading the global celery juice movement around the claim that celery juice has the capability to heal all different viruses, health conditions, starve bad bacteria inside of us, and so much more. Celery juice has already healed millions worldwide and is said to be the most powerful medicine of our time. However, as incredible as this sounds, it is not something that is currently backed by scientific research or traditional medicine. Why is this? Because Anthony Williams is a medium, hence his name, the medical medium, who offers his medical and health advice based on communication with a spirit, whom he calls the spirit of compassion. While the information coming from spirit has saved and helped millions, it is information that is being transmitted outside of what scientists and medical research are able to find with the tools they have or areas they are willing to look into. As Anthony often puts it, it is just simply beyond their current capacity of understanding. Anthony Williams is a New York Times best-selling author who has published 6 books and is a writer and trusted expert on Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. Anthony has been communicating with his spirit pretty much his whole life, as since age 4, he's been using his gift to read people's conditions and tell them how to recover. I believe his first encounter with spirit was at a family dinner when at around age 4, when he looked across the table and pointed to his aunt, saying that she had a cancer of some kind. I believe it is lung cancer, if I'm not mixing up my facts. To which, upon receiving that information from such a young child, the family did immediately look into it to find that she did have a low stage of lung cancer and was able to further save her life. Very powerful, especially coming from a child. Since then, Anthony's unprecedented accuracy and success rate as the medical medium has earned him the trust and love of millions worldwide, among most of them being movie stars, rock stars, billionaires, pro athletes, and so many other people from all walks of life who really couldn't find a way to heal until he provided them with the insights from above. Anthony has also become an invaluable resource to doctors who need help solving their most difficult cases, and is slowly beginning to be accepted among more and more doctors of the traditional medical community, which is so exciting. So I do encourage you to explore him further, or at least listen to next Tuesday's episode if you need more convincing. He recently published his latest book called Cleanse to Heal, which is massive. It is the biggest of all of his books yet, and it explains the various ways fruit and vegetables can heal our bodies of any and all standing diseases in today's time. So exciting, so incredible. Anthony, I believe, is truly a gift, and we are so fortunate to have him here with us in this lifetime. But let's turn back over to the celery juice phenomenon as spurred by the medical medium, or Anthony Williams himself. So celery juice, it is as it sounds. It is a big glass of juiced celery. In order to make it, all you have to do, it's really super simple. Just take an entire bunch of celery and run it through a juicer, which should hopefully make about 16 ounces of fresh celery juice for you to consume on an empty stomach first thing in the morning when you wake up. After you drink it, it is important to not consume anything else for 20 to 30 minutes following in order to receive its full healing benefits. Increasing your intake up to 24 to 32 ounces a day can be extremely beneficial for anyone suffering with chronic illness or such symptoms. Please keep in mind that this should all be consumed all at once first thing in the morning, because that is when your body will receive the most benefits from the healing properties of the juice. If you are someone like me who drinks hot lemon water first thing in the morning, that is totally fine and is one of the acceptable morning protocols per the medical medium. Just be sure that you wait 20 minutes after your lemon water before consuming your celery juice. And again, try to wait 20 to 30 minutes post celery juice before consuming anything else. If you are someone who doesn't have a juicer, you can certainly try blending it in a high-speed blender and straining it with a cheesecloth to begin reaping some of its benefits. I actually did that, I think, for the first 2 weeks upon learning of celery juice, and then went out and bought a juicer, opted for the cheaper juicer, and then per such extensive use of it, had to end up upgrading to a better juicer. So I would definitely recommend spending a little bit more money all at once on your juicer, because chances are you're going to have to re-spend the money later on. So save yourself some money and just go ahead and get the more expensive one. Trust me, you will love it. With that, yes, celery juice is most powerful when you drink it solo and solo only. Please, please, please do not be confused and only start drinking green juices with celery in them. While these green juices do have great effects on your body and nutrient supplies, you will not receive the benefits as drinking a solo cup of celery juice. It is really about that cup of celery juice. Oddly enough, right? So why are we juicing it versus just eating it? Well, it doesn't do the same thing due to the highly concentrated minerals that are found in the food, and in reality, I doubt many, if anybody, would be willing to sit down and eat an entire bunch of celery first thing in the morning. Seems as awful as it sounds. With that, eating celery itself is healthy. It does come from Mother Earth. It does have various healing properties for your body as well. So definitely still incorporate it in your diet. There's no reason not to eat celery. Just it's fully impossible to be able to consume enough celery to get the benefits that come when juicing it. And the concentrated cluster salts only come out while juiced. With that being said, those undiscovered cluster salts do a variety of things for the body, including they quickly rebuild your hydrochloric acid so that your stomach can break down protein. If protein isn't broken down properly, it will cause gut rot, and strong hydrochloric acid is important to kill off the pathogens entering your mouth. Celery juice increases and strengthens your bile. A strong bile, for those who do not know, is important for the breakdown of fats and for killing off pathogens that have made their way into your body. Eating straight celery will not allow you to get enough of the celery's cluster salts that act as antiseptics for pathogens. And yes, we all have pathogens entering our body. Whether you want to believe it or not, try to not sit in denial of that. Another thing is celery juice restores your central nervous system. It removes old toxins and poisons, such as the old pharmaceuticals that are left over from our liver. As I mentioned earlier, we have a variety of pathogens and viruses in or entering our body really at all times, and the undiscovered sodium cluster salts of the celery juice will begin to kill off these pathogens and viruses such as Epstein-Barr, shingles, and then bacteria such as streptococcus, and really it starts killing them off right away inside the body, which is pretty cool. These three, Epstein-Barr, shingles, and streptococcus, are some of the leading contributors to many of our health problems today. Could go on and on about celery juice. It really has so many benefits, but just a couple more to run by you if you are not convinced yet. Celery juice is critical for chronic acid reflux. And acid reflux, for those who are not familiar, means that three things are happening in your body. You have low hydrochloric acid production, unproductive bacteria such as strep and E. coli, and a weakened liver. Celery juice helps improve all three of these things. Celery juice also fights autoimmune disease. Pathogens are the true cause of inflammation that's mistakenly considered autoimmune. Celery juice's undiscovered cluster salts can break down and flush out these pathogens. Celery juice helps to restore the adrenals, keeping them stable and functioning. Celery juice neutralizes and flushes toxins out of the liver. The salt actually binds onto the neurotoxins, dermatoxins, and other viral waste, as well as the troublemakers, and actually draws them out of the liver. It also helps to bring down toxic liver heat that can really kind of help purge what we call a sluggish liver. For those who are not super familiar with the liver, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because it really is something that needs its own episode, but I do promise you someday soon, I will do an episode talking all about the liver and health of the liver because it is so fascinating amongst many other health elements as well. Back to celery juice benefits. What else does it do? It actually carries the capability to eradicate strep bacteria. And strep is actually the common bacteria that is most responsible for many conditions such as acne, UTIs, SIBO, yeast infections, and more. And celery juice actually destroys the strep inside of us. If you've ever had strep throat at some point in your life, you have strep bacteria living inside of you. And you need to get that out of there because it causes lots of different health conditions and problems. Celery juice is also a powerful stomach acid replenisher. We talked a little bit about the hydrochloric acid and things that it helps build up, but celery juice can break down the rotting protein and rancid fats in the stomach and small intestinal tract, which then helps reduce bloating. And what else? I think that is probably about it, just to kind of give you a quick overview on celery juice. That was a lot. I hope we didn't scare you by any means either, but please know that celery juice and the medical medium protocols are all very, very beneficial to all of us. Some people have asked me previously, why is juicing so important now, where back in the day, juicers didn't even exist? And I completely understand where this questioning is coming from, but please know that food is very, very different today than what we've previously had in the past. Food does not carry the same nutritional values as it once did. I believe, if I'm correct, that an apple actually carries 70% less nutrition than it did previously, and if you want to consume the optimal amount of nutrition from an apple, you should actually be eating about 2 to 3 apples a day now to help replenish your body. I know broccoli is in the same boat. I think it also carries around that 70% deficient marker and many, many more. But yeah, just know that the reasons for all of this whole evolution of nutrition and health and wellness is due largely in part because is due because food is just not the same as it once was. And then on top of that, we are consuming so many chemicals and toxins on a daily basis without even realizing it. Just talked about this in another recent episode of mine, but many of these chemicals can be found in pesticides in our foods, overeating of processed foods and meats, and then toxins around our home, such as our water, cookware, beauty or skin products, even our clothes and furniture, and the air we breathe. Unfortunately, they are everywhere, and we live in a different time now than we did many years and decades ago. So with that came the juicers that are able to extract and compound nutrients from various plants in order to help boost our bodies with the nutrition they lack. With that being said, smoothies are equally as good as juices. Each one just carries various benefits and nutrient values to our bodies. Which, speaking of that, I will actually probably do an episode as well, helping to understand and define the difference between why we need smoothies and why we need juices, but really we need a healthy combination of both in our diets. So yeah, that's about it though. Like I said earlier, stay tuned to hear next week's episode as we will fully dive into all things medical medium and his protocols. On this episode, I feature a woman from Hawaii who completely healed her chronic acne and PCOS. PCOS, if you don't know, is polycystic ovary syndrome. She radically changed her life from drinking daily celery juice and incorporating all medical medium protocols into her lifestyle. As you will learn, his protocols really stem far beyond the celery juice global movement and have been proven to change so many lives. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a download today on celery juice, help to introduce the medical medium in preparation for next week, and also help to debunk that celery juice. It is still a thing. It's not just a trend. And it really should be part of your daily lifestyle, as the medical medium can go into far more detail than I have. I will link some of his blog articles and recent book, Cleanse to Heal, as well. And I believe that is about it. But overall, I'm just so pumped to continue sharing and enlightening and hopefully inspiring you all. And I really cannot wait for next week, because if this weekly digest inspired you, you are going to love what we talk about on Tuesday. As always, I'm so grateful you tuned in today, and I thank you so much for sharing your time with me.